Welcome to another installment of AIC Insights by the Northeast Ohio Ag Innovation Center at The Ohio State University. Today we're going to discuss rewards-based crowdfunding. I'm Kate Hodges, Business Planning Specialist, and today's presentation includes information from Shoshana Inwood and Peggy Kirk Hall. In the AIC Insights series, we aim to provide actionable insights, resources, and strategies to add value to your operation. At the AIC, our support is holistic, confidential, and individual client-focused. We aim to support each client in their value-added agriculture journey with both a realistic and an aspirational lens. The objectives of this installment of AIC Insights are to define rewards-based crowdfunding, explore how it might be applied to your operation and operations like yours, and show an example of this in action. What is rewards-based crowdfunding? It's a manner of gaining funds for your operation through a set of individual contributions from members of the public. These contributors receive something from you in exchange for their contribution. This format works especially well to fund equipment or infrastructure, projects with a defined cost, scope, and timeline. Crowdfunding campaigns usually offer multiple contribution tiers with differing rewards in order to accommodate funding levels comfortable across a spectrum of funders. Some of the benefits of rewards-based crowdfunding for you, the operation seeking funding, are the following. You do not give up equity or ownership in your enterprise as you would if you brought on a new contributing partner. There's no interest repayment needed on a loan, no debt to repay other than the rewards promised through the campaign. Capital can be raised cheaply compared to angel or venture capital fundraising, which often have higher points of entry. Fees are fixed and standardized by an established crowdfunding platform which covers legal wording through their existing funder and contributor agreements, avoiding expensive legal fees. You gain a track record for later financing. And finally, your business benefits from the marketing and promotion you put toward the campaign, giving you greater overall visibility. When approaching a rewards-based crowdfunding campaign, it's important to be strategic. Consider lining up a few big donors first, big as defined by your campaign, to build an initial push of momentum in your community and build some buzz. Consider hosting an event to kick off the campaign. Think about how you'll advertise and promote your campaign. For example, you can secure a scannable QR code that leads folks right to your landing page and use it on both print and digital media to streamline your communications. Build trust. Be clear about the scope of the project, how much money you're raising, and how it will be spent. Lean into your community. This campaign can help you build a set of devoted fans and customers as you fund the next growth step for your business. It can be exciting for all involved. Digging more into the nitty-gritty, think about how you want to structure your funding tiers and rewards delivery. How many tiers do you want to manage and keep track of? Do you want to offer a reward that is redeemed all at once or one that is redeemable over time? Rewards can include physical items that need to be picked up or shipped to contributors. They can include free items to be redeemed at a later date or over a period of time. Consider timing in relation to your workflow and seasonal capacity. Distributing rewards brings additional administrative tasks to your operation. Be realistic about how much complication you want to bring through the distribution of rewards. The most common types of rewards given in crowdfunding are pre-order rewards and recognition and swag. Pre-order rewards include coupons for redemption of product in a single instance, like one free whole chicken, or over time, like 20% off all purchases until a certain date. It can include exclusive or insider access to new products or special bundled items that aren't available to the general public. Recognition and swag can include name-on-the-wall type benefits, like this picture of etched spoons, or limited edition printed items like t-shirts, bandanas, or any branded item you can imagine. There are other creative types of rewards, and remember that these rewards in and of themselves can help build your brand recognition after they're distributed if they're visible, useful, and desirable items, like a nicely designed and printed quality t-shirt. Let's look at Georgie's Dairy. In this fictional example, I've designed 7 tiers of giving for a dairy farm who would like to expand their product offerings and purchase an ice cream maker. adding this fun seasonal offering to their farm store's current offerings of milk, cheese, and yogurt. We have a $1 tier, the gratitude tier, our eternal gratitude. Giving a low-cost entry option is always wise, and you can see that recognition at only $10 is still an approachable amount. For $10, consider that the format that folks are recognized on that wall must be very low cost to implement, otherwise you're going to blow your budget out of the water. At $50, 10% off all purchases is a nice deal for customers, and it's easy for Georgie's to implement. 10% off purchases also entices these funders to make several visits to the farm store, increasing traffic and sales for Georgie's and building their community of fans. The $100 ambassador tier puts Georgie's Dairy out in the public on a limited edition t-shirt that contributors can wear proudly. The $250 Dairy Lovers tier further solidifies touch points with the funders and Georgie's, and the Georgie's Dairy name is being displayed in public twofold. The $500 tier is a fun one that brings dedicated donors into the decision-making process at Georgie's by letting them feel ownership of a tangible part of the business, a new bench where people will sit and enjoy the ice cream made at Georgie's, even though they're not actually owning a piece of the business. And at $1,500, which may seem like an unattainable amount to folks, we have It's Not a Party Until There's Ice Cream. There's always a benefit to including a tier that seems just a little beyond reach because you never know what you might have in your community. And remember that if we have 20 closest friends and coworkers coming to an event, that some of those folks might be new to Georgie's Dairy, and getting that insider look means that you're going to have an easier time making a new fan of your business. Transitioning back into the nitty-gritty, there are two main types of funding models. The Keep It All model, which distributes all of the funds collected minus fees, regardless of if you meet your funding goal, and the All or Nothing model, which only helps you launch the project if you reach your goal. Often the All or Nothing model is more successful because it's lower risk for your funders. Folks who use that All or Nothing model often incorporate stretch goals that allow a project to be funded at a lower level and then add more and more elements when the funding reaches higher and higher. A stretch goal example for Georgie's would be, if we reach X number of dollars, we'll add a permanent face and whole photo op at the farm store. There are important tax and legal implications to consider. I'm going to read the next two slides and let you read along with me. Part 1. Before proceeding with a rewards-based crowdfunding campaign, consult both a tax professional to determine your tax implications and an attorney to consider your contractual obligations. For income tax purposes, a crowdfunding website or its payment processor must report distributions of money raised through crowdfunding to the IRS if the total of payments distributed to a person in a calendar year exceeds $20,000 in gross payments from more than 200 contributions. The crowdfunding website must file a Form 1099-K and furnish a copy of the form to the person who received the distribution. If you receive a Form 1099-K from your crowdfunding website or its payment processor, you must report the amount on your income tax filing. The income tax treatment of crowdfunding contributions depends on the situation. The IRS requires you to report funds received through rewards-based crowdfunding as taxable gross income if the contributor receives goods or services in exchange for the contribution. But in such cases, you can deduct all ordinary business expenses related to the production of the goods or services to offset the income, such as shipping fees, platform fees, and materials, because you are a business. Additionally, it may be possible to divide the contribution into part gift and part sale, depending on the amount of the contribution and the reward. Part 2. When contributions are made to a trade or business, income from rewards-based crowdfunding might also be subject to self-employment tax. If contributions are gifts made as a result of detached and disinterested generosity, and without any expectation of goods or services in return for the contribution, the IRS states that the contributions are not reportable by the receiver as taxable gross income. This situation is not likely in rewards-based crowdfunding when goods or services are offered as an incentive for contributions. A backer's contributions to rewards-based crowdfunding campaigns are not tax deductible when made in exchange for goods or services. Sales tax obligations might apply to the goods or services delivered to contributors. Because sales tax laws vary by state and municipality, you should refer to applicable laws to determine whether to collect sales taxes on crowdfunding rewards. The language used in the crowdfunding campaign can form the basis for a legal contract between you and your backers. Be careful with promises made and ensure that you can deliver the promised goods or services to minimize the potential of a breach of contract claim. You should maintain detailed records of your crowdfunding campaign, contributions received, and goods and services rendered to contributors. Now let's look at crowdfunding platforms. First, always read through the fine print. Platform fees and processing fees are listed, and they vary from provider to provider. If you are a nonprofit organization, some platforms offer additional tools to help manage your campaign. There are new platforms being introduced and launched often. This is not an exhaustive list of options. So we'll just go through a list. Kickstarter, which is the most well-known and popular platform. We have Fundly, a crowdfunding and social app. Indiegogo, another all-in-one platform that is widely known. Fundraiser, an all-in-one platform that is less widely known than Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Bonfire, which is a fundraising platform that specializes in custom printed swag like those quality t-shirts. There is Zephy, specifically for nonprofits. Little Green Light, which is primarily a CRM for donations for nonprofits, but worth a mention. And then BackerKit, which is the most robust if you're looking at a lot of shipped reward management. Now we're going to look at a couple of real-world examples of similar but not quite the same community-supported restaurant models. First, these are both out of Vermont. First is Claire's Kitchen. To help fund the build-out of a new restaurant, 50 community members paid $1,000 each and received $1,000 worth of restaurant meals over 4 years. This is an example that meters out the awards over a period of time in order to not negatively overwhelm the cash flow situation for a new operation. And second, we'll look at Bessery's Butcher Shop. To purchase new equipment for this family-run butcher shop and deli, they issued 300 investment opportunities of $100 each. Investors received a 20% return in about a year. In addition, once the shop opened the new space, investors also received a $20 store credit added to their account every month for the first 6 months, good toward any purchase in the store or deli. And you can visit the website listed here if you would like a little bit more information on this CSR community-supported restaurant model. Let's talk about getting started with your rewards-based crowdfunding campaign. Here is a little checklist. First, choose your platform. Will you choose a keep it all or an all or nothing platform? And make sure you read the fine print so you know what kind of agreement you're entering into. Write a short, clear description of the project you're raising funds for. Include a short biography about you and your farm business. It's important for people to know who they're giving to. Hopefully they're members of your community, but you may get asks that reach a little bit further. Identify the reward levels that entice the crowd to make bigger contributions. Set your campaign length and your campaign goal. Consider hosting a crowdfunding kickoff party to get that buzz started. Link to your social media accounts. Include immersive pictures and videos. And make regular updates during the campaign, including the number of donors and the funds raised. Finally, if you're exploring a rewards-based crowdfunding project to grow your Northeast Ohio value-added agriculture business, reach out to us. We're here to help, to cheerlead, and to be a neutral, confidential sounding board. We want you to succeed. If you are excited, we are excited. Reach out to us via the QR code, email, or phone. We look forward to chatting with you, and be sure to check out the other AIC Insights here on YouTube.